Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day, my friends. Guys, please subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, and by all means, share it with anybody that might get some out of it. How is everybody today, guys? First of all, today, another beautiful day. Today, I officially got my 4-month chip from my noontime gratitude group, my AA group I do on Fridays, and it was really nice, guys. The fellowship was really nice. We actually one of the guys in the group was celebrating 2 years today, so we took him out to lunch afterwards, and it was great to be, to go out with a sober bunch of people and have a nice lunch and get to know people. And it's funny, it turns out the person chairing the meeting, her and I know each other from our former life. He actually is a neighbor across the street from where I used to work. I had no idea, right? But that's really cool. And so we're gonna make this a quick video, guys. I'm posting early today. I'm going to a wake tonight. My great aunt died the day before yesterday. She had a 100-year-old amazing woman, one of my favorite relatives, favorite aunts. Auntie Gracie was absolutely amazing, and as much as it's sad, she was 100 years old. She was in a home. She lived a beautiful life, amazing, faithful one. And I'm gonna get to go see my father's side of the family that I haven't seen, and people I haven't seen in God, I don't know, 10, 15 years anyway. And you know what? For once in my life, I'm going to walk in there happy and proud because they know I'm sober and they know I'm doing the things that I'm doing. And as much as it's a sad occasion, it's actually kind of nice to be walking in there and be looked at in a positive light. And it's because I'm sober and it's because of the work that I'm doing today, guys. And just one more gift in sobriety. At any other point, I wouldn't have made it to this wake because I'd be ashamed and I'd be embarrassed, and and I wouldn't have the resources, and I wouldn't be able to take off from work, and blah 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 blah, and a million other excuses that I would have had when I was still actively using drugs. But today I'm not, and I get to show up and and give respect to somebody that meant so much to me growing up, and that feels great. Today, guys, we're gonna just go over briefly the Just for Today NA meditation, and that is today we write, and that's something, and that's huge, guys. Again, it's amazing how much these things you can apply them into your life. Today, something I do is journaling, and that's something I never did before, guys. I like to read, I hate to write, and I hadn't written anything other than an application or whatever or a receipt in decades. And right now, I think right here on my desk, I've got 5 filled notebooks. I mean, filled notebooks from just journaling, free writing. It's something I started doing when I got out of rehab this time around, and it's fantastic. As a matter of fact, I haven't been doing as much lately because I've been getting a lot busier. But I say that because I'm reminding myself I got to start doing it. I think it's a big part of why I've been able to manifest so much that I have, because it's positive affirmations. It's free writing what's going through my mind, and it shows me how my mind is working and whether areas that I need to improve upon and things I should focus on, and where I'm doing well. And it shows me changes that I've made, and just writing itself is a change in and of itself, because I'd never journaled before, and I think it's hugely powerful, and it's been one more big part of why things have been going amazingly well in my life, because I'm living intentionally, and I'm paying attention, and that's how I pay attention, guys. Whether it's journaling, whether it's just taking the time out to digest and respond rather than being reactionary constantly. And that's a beautiful thing. It really is. My life is incredibly blessed today. I'm honored to be who I am today. I'm honored to be living a life that I consider to be an example to others in sobriety. I post about it on different channels, and people that I view regularly, and it's funny, I was talking about it yesterday, the feedback that I get today. It's like when I put a post out there now, and the same things I would have posted months ago, but because the energy and the feelings I had for myself weren't at the level that they are, it literally, guys, everything you do carries a vibrational and an energetic signature. And my energetic signature is carrying so much more positive weight to it today, that I put the same post out today, only different because it's further down the road, and I get 50 and 60 comments responding to my comment on somebody else's page. It's absolutely amazing. And some of you are now viewers here, and that's great too. I've attracted viewers to this channel by commenting on other people, and that's great, because it's one more way I'm being of service. Other people that are early in sobriety and want encouragement, or want to see what's going on with somebody else, and just one addict helping another alcoholic or addict, and that's what the world's all about to me today, guys. Sitting down with, I think there were 8 of us from my AA group today. That one of the guys was celebrating 2 years, so we all sat down and had lunch, and it was great. We had a great laughs and good time. And my buddy Mel, my friend of mine, I won't use his name, but my friend that introduced me to that group, I've invited him to come and use my garage because he's a good friend of mine, and it's just amazing, guys, that the relationships that you build and like-minded people that are also doing well in their life, and I tell you, like, we do a round robin style talk, and there was a lot of people in the room today. It's funny, in the beginning of the meeting, it looked like it was going to be a very small meeting, and then 10, 15 minutes in, with the weather, some people were running late, the room's packed, and only a few people got to talk, and there's so many people, but the intelligence and the wisdom that I pick up and I hear, and not only that, but when you look at these people and they look like they got their lives together, and I would think, these people, have no idea. We're from, totally different walks of life. And then you hear them speak, and you can identify immediately with everything they're saying. You look and like, wow, we look so different. Yeah, we're not. We're not. We all suffer from the same, insecurities, the same fears, the same situations, and with different details, right? But same feelings, and it's great because then you take the solutions that they've found and you find ways to apply it to your life, and that's a huge shortcut to getting ahead, and that's it's a big part. Because, like we talked about yesterday, writing today and Teachable yesterday is a huge part of why I'm making such great leaps and bounds, and it was great. As a matter of fact, one of the guys at the meeting today, we're talking about it today at lunch. He's a neighbor of mine. He's like, yeah, I used to see Pat out there working in the driveway 3 in the morning, And, today you watch him, he's got the truck, and he's got the business, he's got the garage, and he's 50 pounds heavier, and he looks healthy, and, like, I love hearing stuff like that, guys. And, I try to be humble, and I try not to be conceited, but nobody is going to not like hearing such positive things being said, and it's a great compliment, and it's true. I mean, every bit of it's true. None of it's a word of lie. When I walked into rehab back in December, I was 145 pounds. Today, I'm 195 pounds, and part of that is I'm eating healthy, I'm eating good foods, I'm going to the gym, I'm working out, I'm keeping myself in good shape, I'm working every day, and I feel phenomenal, guys. I feel like I'm aging in reverse, and I go back and look at my early videos, and I literally look so much better, and even then it was coming out of rehab, and I was doing better than I had been doing, but I'm doing so much better today, and it's just getting better and better every day, and a big part of that is because I've developed a relationship with my higher power, and I lean into that, guys. I don't say these things, I live these things. I take these lessons and I apply them, and it's making me so incredibly happy with the person that I am today, because I'm the best version of me that's ever walked the planet, and I still fall short. Don't get me wrong, I'm not better than anybody else, but I'm better than I was previously, and that's all that matters. And I'm somebody that people can rely on today. I'm somebody that people can that want to collaborate with and want to work with. I get feedback all the time. My landlord, my friend, my former boss, Doug, he's now one of my customers. He loves calling me up, and he doesn't mind paying company prices to have me do the work for him, because he knows when he calls me, I get things done and I do them properly and I do them the way he wants it done. And I'm reliable, and that's great. Like, I love being called by these terms, because I've been called a lot of things in life, and they weren't always these beautiful terms that I'm called today. As a matter of fact, it was funny. One of my friends from the AA group today were talking, and she told me I looked pumped, and it was just because she's older woman's riot. But and she's like, I don't know if that's the right term. You look like you go to the gym, and I laughed, and I'm like, hey, I've been called a lot worse. I mean, it's like, it's just, guys. Life is beautiful today, and don't get me wrong. I have my bad days, anybody does. You're gonna have bad moments, but the more you put what am I trying to call it? A recovery system in place, or the more you make recovery your lifestyle, the more safeguards, the more things you have into place. There's that many more things that are gonna help you deal with the everyday ups and downs of life, the ebb and flow of life, when you're going to have highs and you're going to have lows, and when you have all these different tools at your disposal to deal with them, it makes it so much better, so they don't affect you, and you don't end up isolating, you don't end up being so depressed that you don't have anybody to share something with, and that's a huge part of staying sober. And that's why I encourage you to leave comments and let me know where you're at, and develop develop your relationship with you. Again, the two most important relationships you're ever going to have in life are your relationship with your higher power and your relationship with self. And when you get those two, so you're very happy with both of those relationships, every other relationship in your life will start to become positive ones, because you will no longer allow, when when you're that happy with yourself, you won't allow the negativity that any of us allowed. I allowed people to abuse me brutally because that's how I looked at myself prior, and I have no problem letting that go, and I'm so glad that I have, and this makes all the difference. I don't allow that today. I will be kind and I will be considerate, but again, if somebody comes at me sideways, I just cut them out. And I was a huge people pleaser, guys. Confrontation was like the worst, the furthest thing. I avoid that at all costs, because I had so many skeletons in my closet. I didn't want anybody saying something. I didn't know who knew what, and you know what I mean? I don't worry about that today, guys. I just come at things openly and honestly. And again, I'm not perfect. I'm still, failing here and there, but I pick myself up, and I notice my failures, and I apologize for them immediately. Being upfront and open and honest for me, and I can only speak for me, but for me, it's a huge part of my program, because it allows me to not have to worry about it, not have to think about who I said what. I just say the truth to everybody now, and then I can just literally have conversations. When I'm asked a question, the first thing comes to my mind comes out of my mouth, because I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to remember who I said what, what I said to who, and that's a beautiful thing. It's the freedom that comes with living clean is just shockingly beautiful. Guys, we're going to wrap it up. I got an hour and a half drive to the funeral home, and I got to be there between 5 and 5:30, so I got to get myself on the road. I'll upload this video from the truck, and we'll go from there. Guys, remember, God loves you. I love you. Thank you all so very much for being here. This is the biggest part of a huge part of my recovery program. It's why I come back day in and day out, and I hope some of you are getting something out of it. I love the feedback that I get from it. And yeah, I couldn't do it without you guys. It'd be just me talking to my phone. So thank you all so much for being here. God loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the next one.